Hey guys, welcome to the Daily Word Bible Study, a plain and simple, book by book, chapter by chapter, and verse by verse study in the entire Bible, through the entire Bible. We are in Psalm chapter 15. Now remember, not chapter, Psalm 15. Okay, the Psalms are a collection of songs, so they're not chapters. A habit calling every break chapters, but they're not. And again, just by way of trivia, chapters and verses were not in the original writings, so they are the inventions of translators. And sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. Now, of course, with the psalm, they can't help but to, you know, each psalm in and of itself is um, a, a separate entity. So there's 150 Psalms. So, all right, let's get to it. Psalm chapter 5. What do I want? Yeah, chapter 15. And it says, who can dwell in your tents? Who can live on your holy mountain? The one who lives honestly, practice righteous, and acknowledge the truth in his heart. Now, I want to say something about this statement here. Who, the one, okay, let's go back. Verse 1. Who can dwell in your tent? Who can live in your holy mountain? And then he goes on to gives you a list of deeds. Okay. So in the New Testament, understand you can never achieve this. David did not achieve this, right? The standard of holiness. Sinful man cannot achieve this. This is achieved through Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection. So when we keep this in mind, how David he has an Old Testament mind, but remember that he himself did not live up to, right? He failed. And then of course when we look at it from God's revelation, we fail. And let me do this. I'm going to veer just for a moment. Not what I wanted to do. I'm going to come back to this, but I think this is kind of important. I'm going to go to Colossians chapter 1. I just want to show you something here. Okay. Colossians. And, okay, Colossians chapter 1. Computers running slow again. What? Okay. My computer's running slow. All right, I'll tell you what, I won't go through that because my computer's running slow. It may jump upon me when I do this, but if it jumps, I want to show you a verse in comparison to this, but again, my computer's running extremely slow for some reason. All right, so again, verse 1 says, Lord, who can dwell in your tent? Who can live in your holy mountain? The one who lives honestly, practice righteousness, and acknowledge the truth in his heart, who does not slander with his tongue, who does not harm his friends, or discredit his neighbor, who despises the one rejected by God, but honors those who fear the Lord, who keeps his word whatever the cost, who does not lend money at interest, or takes bribe against the innocent. The one who does these things will never be moved. Now, as we said before, this is not even all of God's commands, okay? Oh, all right, let's see here. Computer's acting funny. Okay, guys, my computer's acting funny. Okay, let me see if I could. Let's do this. I'm switching to another app. Since I'm doing that, let me see if I can get Colossians. This is what I wanted to show you. Uh, and no, it's acting up too. Hmm. Wow. Okay. So my computer's acting funny, guys. So I'm going to switch to plan B. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to, let me come out of this because, all right. I'm going to read because my computer is acting up here. So I'm going to read this from Colossians then, and this is chapter 1. So again, guys, since my computer is acting funny, um, now you remember he talked about a whole list of good deeds, right? So in Colossians chapter 1, and then in verse 21, he says, "Once you were alienated and hostile in your minds because of your evil actions, but now he has reconciled you by his physical body through death to present you holy, faultless, and blameless before him." Okay, so I wanted to show you the change here. The New Testament, how we meet the New Testament measure of righteousness is in Jesus. All right. So I'm going to go to Psalm chapter 3. Let me see if my computer has unfroze. Well, it has, but I've already read it, so let me kind of go back to Psalms. Okay. And 16. All right. All right. So Psalm 16 says, "Protect me, God, for I take refuge in you. I said to Yahweh, you are my Lord. I have nothing good beside you. As for the holy people who are in the land, they are the noble ones. All my delight is in them. The sorrows of those who take another God for themselves will multiply," and which is at this time with Israel's major downfall. "I will not pour out their drink offerings of blood. I will not speak their names with my lips. Lord, you are my portion and my cup of blessings. You hold my future. The boundary lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance. I will praise the Lord who counsels me. Even at night, my conscience instructs me. I will keep the Lord in mind always." Now, by the way, how do I keep the Lord in mind? Remember Psalm 1, who meditates in his word day and night. Okay, who meditates in his word day and night. I will keep the Lord in mind always, because he is at my right hand. I will not be shaken. Therefore, my heart is glad and my spirit rejoices. My body also rests securely. For you will not abandon me to Sheol. You will not allow my faithful one to see decay. You reveal your path of life to me. In your presence is abundant joy. In your right hand are the eternal pleasures. Now, verse 10 is a major prophecy. It says, "For you will not abandon me to Sheol. You will not allow your faithful one to see decay." This is a direct prophecy to Jesus' death, burial, 3-day death, burial, and resurrection. This is cited in the Gospels. All right. Um, All right, Psalm 17. Lord, hear a just cause. Pay attention to my cry. Listen to my prayer from lips free of deceit. Let my vindication come from you, for you see what is right. Now, this is ever so true. You should always allow the Lord to be the one to vindicate you, not man. Sad is the person that always seeks vindication from man, and we do this on all levels of life, from the way we look, right, from award ceremonies, everything. Anyway, verse 3, you have tested my heart. You have examined me at night. You have tried me and found nothing evil. I have determined that my mouth will not sin. Concerning what people do by the words of your lips, I have avoided the ways of violence. My steps are on your path. My feet have not slipped. I call on you, God, because you will answer me. Listen closely to me. Hear what I say. Display the wonders of your faithful love. Savior of all who seek refuge from those who rebel against your right hand. Protect me as the pupil of your eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings from the wicked who treat me violently, and deadly enemies who surround me. They have become hardened. Their mouths speak arrogantly. They advance at me. Now they surround me. They are determined to throw me to the ground. They are like a lion eager to tear, like young lions lurking in ambush. Rise up, Lord, confront them, bring him down. With your sword, save me from the wicked. With your hand, Lord, save me from men of the world. Whose portion is this? Whose portion is in this life? You fill their bellies with what you have in store. Their sons are satisfied, and they leave their surplus to their children. But I will see your face in righteousness. When I awake, I will be satisfied in your presence. All right, let's go to Psalm 18. I love you, Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, my deliverer, my God, my mountain where I seek refuge, my shield in the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. I call to the Lord, who is worthy of praise, and I was saved from my enemies. The ropes of death were wrapped around me. The torrents of destruction terrified me. The ropes of Sheol enstrangled me, and the snares of death confronted me. I called to the Lord in my distress, and I cried to my God for help. From his temple he heard my voice, and my cry to him reached his ears. Then the earth shook and quaked. The foundation of the mountains trembled. They shook because he burned with anger. Smoke rose from his nostrils, and a consuming fire from his mouth. Coals were set ablaze by it. He parted the heavens and came down in a dark cloud beneath his feet. He rode on a cherub and flew, soaring on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his hiding place, dark storm clouds his canopy around him. From the radiance of his presence, his clouds swept onwards with hail and a blazing coal. The Lord thundered from heaven. The Most High projected his voice. He shot his arrows and scattered them. He hurled the lightning bolts and routed them. The depths of the sea became visible, and the foundation of the world were exposed. At your rebuke, Lord, at the blast of your breath of your nostrils, he reached down and took hold of me. He pulled me out of the waters. Now, one quick note. If you notice David's description here, when he talks about this language, the blast of his nostrils. Now, does God have nostrils? And the answer is no. But he's, again, using figure of speech to describe God in a way that we can understand. But always remember, in a sense, the truth always is what is stable. Verse 16, he reached down from heaven, took hold of me. He pulled me out of deep waters. He rescued me from a powerful enemy and from those who hated me. For they were too strong for me. They confronted me in the day of my distress, but the Lord was my support. He brought me out of the spacious place. He rescued me because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness. He repaid me according to the cleanness of my hands. For I have kept the way of the Lord and have not turned from my God to wickedness. Indeed, I have kept all of his ordinance in my mind and have I have not disregarded his statutes. I was blameless towards him and have kept myself from sinning. So the Lord repaid me according to his righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. With the faithful. Now, this verse here, by the way, is again another one that is cited. Paul cites this. Okay, he says, "With the faithful you have proved yourself faithful. With the blameless man you have proved yourself blameless. With the pure you have proved yourself pure. And with the crooked you have proved yourself shrewd. For you rescued the afflicted people, but you humbled those with haughty eyes. Lord, you light my lamp. My God illuminates my darkness. With you I can attack a barrier, and with my God I can leap over a wall." Let me see here. Verse 30. God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is pure. He is the shield to all who take refuge in him. For who is God besides Yahweh? Now, this is a truth here, because even though there are many pagan gods, they're not real. God is the only God that has manifested himself in reality, not just from a standpoint of worship. For who is God besides Yahweh, and who is a rock? Only our God. God, he clothes me with strength and makes my way perfect. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer and sets me securely on the heights. He trains my hands for war. My arms can bend a bow of bronze. You have given me the shield of your salvation. Your right hand upholds me, and you humility exalts me. You widen the place beneath for my steps, and my ankles do not give way. I pursue my enemies and overtake them. I do not turn back until they are wiped out. I crush them, and they cannot get up. They fall beneath my feet. You have clothed me with strength in battle. You subdued my adversary beneath me. You have made my enemies retreat before me, and I annihilate those who hate me. They cry for help, but there is no one to save them. They cry for help, they cry to the Lord, but he does not answer them. I pulverize them like dust before the wind. I trample them like mud in the streets. You have freed me from the feuds among the people. You have appointed me the heads of the nations, and people I have not known serve me. Foreigners submit to me grudgingly. Now, David, by the way, really fulfilled this. When you go back and you read David's reign, you see how many people were made to serve him. The kingdoms that he conquered, those people served him. Foreigners submit to me grudgingly, and as soon as they hear, they obey me. Foreigners lose heart and come trembling from their fortifications. The Lord lives, and may my rock be praised. The God of my salvation is exalted. God, he gives me vengeance and subdues people under me. He frees me from my enemies. You exalt me above my adversaries. You rescue me from the violent man. Therefore, I will praise you, Yahweh, among the nations. I will sing about your name. He gives great victories to his king. He shows loyalty to his anointed, to David, and to his descendants forever. Now, a long psalm, and one thing about the Hebrew song is they're not like our song. So if you were singing this, the purpose would be to tell the story that you want to tell. These songs are not measured in meter to rhyme, by the way. So, all right, guys, don't forget to like and share this video, and don't forget to like and share this video, and let me subscribe. Let me get this right again. Kind of scripted, but my phone just rang. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to BP the Bible Perspective. As always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comment section below. All comments are welcome. See you next time.